fires a shot and that's the first goal.
You are our family and we are your family. This family together, we need to take this game forward that the country went through in 2022 in terms of economy, in terms of business, education, Aragalaya. Then again, we went through a suspension period. So lots of hardship. But one thing we had in common was we were together. Whatever the differences we had in the past or in football, when it come to football, when it come to federation, when it come to governance, we all of us were united together. We fought against the suspension. We fought against the interference. We fought against political involvements, but all 67 we were together. This unity is something that makes us different from all other sports. We have 78 sports, I think, in the country registered, but we are so much of different. We are different from other sports because when it comes to important matters, national matters, government matters, we are together. This is the only way our game, our country's football can go forward. Sometimes we'll have differences, sometimes we'll have opinions, sometimes we'll have elections. It doesn't matter. We can have our own opinion. You can choose whoever you want. That's different. But when we are together, if you want to protect our game, if you want to take our game, we are one family.
අනිල් ස්ටේන්වල් මෙම පුහුණු පාඨමාලාවේ ප්‍රධාන උපදේශක විදිහට කටයුතු කරනවා. ඉතින් මේ පාඨමාලාවේ ගොඩක් අපි කතා කරන්නේ ටෙක්නිකල් ටැක්ටිකල් සම්බන්ධව දේවල්, විශේෂයෙන්ම ග්‍රාස් රූට් වයසේ ළමයටත් යූත් ළමයටත් අපි මොනවද අපි පුහුණුවීම් වලදී ලබා දෙන්න ඕන කියලා. ඉතින් මේක මම විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ කෝස් එක පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා ලංකාවට හඳුන්වා දෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා කල්පනා කරේ. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ පාපන්දු ඇකඩමි දැන් ගොඩාක් බිහි වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම පාසලට, ඒ වගේම සමාජගත කරන්න. එතකොට මේ ඇකඩමි වල ඉන්න කෝචස්ලා ඒගොල්ලෝ හරහා තමයි මේ දැනුම ග්‍රාස් රූට් ළමයට යන්නේ. විශාල සංඛ්‍යාවක් ඇකඩමි වල පුහුණුවීම් ලබනවා. නමුත් මම හිතනවා මේ කෝචස්ලාට මේ නොලෙජ් එක යන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා මේ පාඨමාලාව ඔබ හදාරනවා කියන්නේ පුහුණුකරු විදිහට රටේ අනාගතේ මීට වැඩිය හොඳ තැනකට අපේ රටේ ක්‍රීඩකයන්ව ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
මම හර්ෂිනී මදුෂානි ගම්පහ තක්ෂිලා විද්‍යාලයෙන්. ඇත්තට මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩාක් අත්දැකීම් ගත්තා. අපි බොහොම පිරිසක් මේත් එක්ක එකතු වුණා. සියලුම දෙනා මම හිතනවා ගොඩාක් පාපන්දු හැකියාව කුසලතා වර්ධනය කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා A to Z කියලා දෙනවා. ඒක ඇත්තටම වටිනවා. C license course එක එහා ගිහිල්ලා මේ ප්‍රායෝගික ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් පුහුණුවීම් ගොඩාක් අපිට ලැබලා දුන්නා. ඒ තුලින් මම හිතනවා රටේ අනාගතයට මේක හරියට ක්‍රියාවට නැන්නුවොත් රටේ අනාගතේ හොඳ පාපන්දු ක්‍රීඩකයන් බිහි කරීමේ හැකියාව අපි සියලු දෙනාටම තියෙනවා. සියලු දෙනාටම මම ආරාධනා කරනවා මේ පුහුණුවීම්ගේ වලින් ගන්න පුළුවන් උපරිම ප්‍රතිඵල අරගෙන රටේ අනාගත දක්ෂ පාපන්දු ක්‍රීඩකයන් බිහි කරමු කියලා.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். நான் டிலக்ஷன் நொதர்ன் ப்ரவின்ஸ் மன்னாரில் இருந்து வந்திருக்கிறேன். கிராஸ் ரூட் கோச்சிங் கோர்ஸுக்கு வந்திருக்கிறேன். இது உண்மையிலே ஒரு பிரியோசனமான பயனுள்ள ஒரு கோர்ஸ். ஸ்கூல் கோச்சர்ஸ், பிடி டீச்சர்ஸ், ஃபுட்பாலில் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்கிற எல்லாருமே கட்டாயம் இந்த கோர்ஸஸை நீங்கள் ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும். லாங்குவேஜ் பிரச்சனை இங்கே இல்லை. கட்டாயம் இந்த கோர்ஸை நீங்கள் எல்லோரும் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுங்கள். இது ஒரு வெளிவான கோர்ஸ். இதற்கால ஒரு ஃப்யூச்சர் உங்களை ஃபுட்பாலில் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்கிறவங்கள வளர்க்குறதுக்கு ஒரு பிரியோசனமான கோர்ஸாக அமையும்.
Hi, my name is Reginald Eroshin. I love this game because this is something that everyone should love in Sri Lanka, not just in Sri Lanka. If you see, if you take the international grounds, everyone loves football. I thought I want to do this professionally, and when I was looking into it in the academy itself, I was introduced to Football Federation Sri Lanka, and I was announced that there is a course that you can do from the beginning itself. From grassroots to D license, C license, A license, and every other license that is capable of me coaching for even local and international football teams. If you are interested, if you are a player, and if you are looking forward to do something about this sport for the international or the local market, where students can learn football, where you would love to teach about football, this would be the perfect course. If you want to start somewhere, grassroots coaching sessions will be the first fundamental stuff where you can learn a lot of things that even most of mainstream players doesn't know. So if you love the game, play the game, or learn it and teach it.
A very good afternoon, folks, and welcome to the live coverage of the Sri Lanka Football Super League 2026. This is match week 6, the 30th match of the season. It's Seahawks FC going up against Renown FC, live from the Sugadasa Football Stadium. Here's the weather report for you, folks. Sunny but cloudy in bursts. We had a couple of showers throughout the day. Very balmy, 30 degrees Celsius, 72% chance of precipitation. Like we spoke about earlier, there's been a couple of showers. Hopefully rain will not play any spoil sport, and a brisk wind of 16 clicks. So pretty standard weather. Par for the course. Here's the points table. The Upcountry Lions and Colombo FC tied in first and second place, fighting rather, with a 4-point gap in between both. Renown FC at third place with 5 games on the trot, 3 wins and 2 draws, yet to be defeated. Seahawks FC with 5 games apiece as well, 3 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. Just a point separating them. This is going to be a very, very interesting fixture to see who comes out on top here. As of right now, Renown FC on top, but a lot can change in the space of 90 minutes. Red Star and Blue Star at 5th and 6th place. Blue Eagles and Defenders 7 points and 4 points each. And as for New Youngs and Ratnam Sports Club, it's not been a real good outing this season. These are the fixtures of week 6 for you folks. Defenders Football Club taking on Ratnam Sports Club in a 4-1 drubbing on the 21st of August for match number 26. Upcountry Lions, of course, dishing out their trademark punishment against table bottom feeders New Youngs FC in a 6-0 encounter. Blue Star going up against Colombo FC. That was a bit of a scrappy affair on the 23rd of August. Colombo FC coming up 2-0 in that encounter. Red Star going up against the Blue Eagles and winning by just 1 goal. That was just yesterday. And match number 30 we have for you right now on the 25th of August. Seahawks going up against Renown FC. And both of these sides will be very, very enthused to do battle with each other. 3 points on offer, and huge inroads to be made for both of these sides if they can manage to eke out a win. Seahawks FC coaching staff is lined up to voice their thoughts about the fixture ahead.
Here with me, Seahawks head coach Jogi Rev. Coach, very important game today with unbeaten Renown Sports Club. How is the preparations and any specials today?
Yes, good afternoon to everyone. Yes, we have been training now the whole week. We've been preparing since our last game when we played the Defenders. Now we continue to carry on the positive result towards the next match. We're more than ready against this team. We've been preparing just like anybody else. Everybody's fighting for the 3 points, so I think it would be very fair to say that we're here for that today. And I believe I'm confident in our team. We're going to give them a very hard game, so we're ready. We're definitely ready 100%.
Anything to add?
No, just we're using different types of system of play. Now the players are gelling better. We're seeing the game in much better way than when I first came a month ago. So now the team, I would say, that is playing better football. And that is what we want, that's what is the aim also of Sri Lankan football, to see teams like ours, like Renown, like Upcountry, compliments to everyone in the league. Everybody's trying hard, everybody's trying to do something for the Sri Lankan football. After all, we're here to help the league and the players to go forward and to present themselves, hopefully internationally as well.
Thank you very much and all the very best, coach.
Thank you, and I just want to say happy birthday to my mom. It's her birthday today, so thank you.
And that was the head coach of the Seahawks, Georgi Kerev. He had a lot to say, and his thoughts will be reflected in the playing 11's actions here on the field. This is how both sides were warming up ahead of the game. Seahawks have looked in real good touch. And Renown Sports Club as well in 3rd place and 4th place respectively. These two sides, they've played a pretty relaxed brand of football with a fair bit of finesse as well. Both of these sides, however, during their games have taken a little bit of time to get settled. These are the fixtures for the Seahawks. Coming up 1-0 against Red Star FC. Seahawks, of course, ran right against Ratnam Sports Club 7-0, and Upcountry Lions besting them on their single account on the 4th of August. Blue Star Sports Club managing to stale Seahawks FC in a 0-0 draw. Seahawks FC, of course, came up 2-0 against the defenders, and today they will be taking on Renown FC 31st of August against Colombo FC, and the final couple of fixtures against New Youngs FC and the Blue Eagle Sports Club on the 7th and 15th of September. And with that said, on the other end of the margin, the head coach for Renown Sports Club, Fazlur Rahman, has not stayed quiet with some thoughts of his own, and we will be heading into that interview shortly.
අපිත් එක්ක දැන් සම්බන්ධ වෙලා ඉන්නවා රෙනවුන් කණ්ඩායමේ පුහුණුකරු ෆසුල් රහමාන්. කෝච්, අද හොඳ තරඟයක් තියෙන්නේ. රෙනවුන් තාම අන්බීටන් ජර්නි එක තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. සීහොක්ස් කියන්නේ තරඟාවලියේ සිටින හොඳම දක්ෂ කණ්ඩායමක්. අද තරඟයට කොහොමද ප්‍රෙපරේෂන්ස් එක?
අපි අන්බීටන් ඉන්නේ. කොමාරි මේකත් අන්බීටන් මේ ටූර්නමන්ට් එක ඉවර කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ අන්බීටන් එකේම තමයි. ඉන්ෂාල්ලා අපි අන්තිම මැච් එක අපි ඩ්‍රෝ. මේ මැච් එක අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා කොමාරි දිනන්න අපේ ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා ඔක්කොම හොඳ මානසික තත්ත්වෙ ඉන්නවා. ඉන්ෂාල්ලා අපි මොනා කරත් හරි අල්ලාගේ මේක ඉන්ෂාල්ලා.
Thank you very much. All the very best for the match.
Thank you.
And Renown FC started their account on the 18th of July against Ratnam Sports Club in a 3-0 affair. Same result against the defenders as well, notching out a win. Again, New Youngs FC not having the best season against any of the sides. Renown FC coming up 8-0, and they were able to beat Colombo FC and Red Star FC to a 0-0 draw, couple of them, and today they will be taking on the Seahawks Football Club, and the rest of the fixtures spread it out over the latter end of August and September. Here are the two sides. Renown in yellow, of course. This league enterprise has been organized by the Football Federation of Sri Lanka over the past couple of years, as I've had the great pleasure of mentioning on a couple of games before. The sport of football has really come into its own and experienced a bit of a renaissance over the past couple of years, and should bring no small joy to the footballing community of the country and its fan base that such a league has taken off in such style. The match officials for the day: just getting ready for the formalities. Renowned Sports Club, this will be a good opportunity for them to get out ahead, just inching closer to Colombo FC, who is fighting for second place with 14 points to their name.
Abdul Hamid will complete that starting 11. Well,
Here's the playing formation 3-3-4 for the Seahawks. They'll be playing Al Bastawisi out in front, supported by the back three of Manram, Chatura, Madhushan, Kursit Pawan and David in the midfield, and those right back and left back combination coming in handy for them. Here's Renown FC led by the skipper Mohammad Rizni. Mohammad Hassan will be in the number 1 jersey. Mohammad Mushfir, Farik Ahmed, Mohammad Shahil, Dilip Piris, Mohammad Mujib, Emmanuel Anaful, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, Kamil Hakim and Nadim Ahmed will be coached by Fazlur Rahman. They are playing also the lone they'll be playing a front three, actually 4-3-3 formation. Shahil, Dilip and Mujib out in front. Rizni, Farik and Abdul Fattah in that midfield, bossing things around. 6 will be a key role for them. Mushfir, Anaful, Hakim and Nadim rounding out that back four. Very, very solid, good balance of attack and defense. However, that number 6 role has a lot to play. We've seen in this league that number 6 pivot role has to have a key role in things.
Well, Seahawks will kick off proceedings, a very crucial games for both the sides, especially for Renown FC, as they've dropped down points with 2 draws in the previous weeks, and they would want to get back to winning ways. They're yet to lose a game, but they would expect they'll get a win out here, and we are set off. Aggressive start from Seahawks, but eventually losing possession in the process. Mushwira trying to find Mujib there, but then there was the Seahawk number 10 covering it down. A quick throw in taken. Well, that'll be the first foul of the game, and Seahawks will be relieved that they found a way to get out of that move from Renown FC. It wasn't the most dangerous ones that moved from Renown, but they were there hanging in closer to that box.
A good through pass through into the midfield. However, now Seahawks sending it back. Sashanka Madhushanka will be overseeing things today with the red shirt. Here's the Seahawks up front. Number 15 goes for the cross. Brilliant chance for a header. Gone begging.
Well, should have made a much better effort there. The attacker. It was a lovely ball in from the Seahawks and number 15, Muhammad Hashmir. He made a good run with his left foot, curled the ball in, found the man, but he could have made a much better effort there. Couldn't get down on time. And there was a golden opportunity gone in vain for Seahawks. If they are to beat Renown, they have to capitalize on those opportunities, and they have to straight away start well.
Indeed, here's Rizni passing it on to the number 6, battling for possession. Goodstead, good contest there, but possession turning over. Here's Renown. A bit of pizzazz from both sides here. Just fighting for possession down the wing. Never a good position to be locked down in. Can be very frustrating. Rizni coming up front, sending it out back. Here's Mohammad Hassan getting it on to Emmanuel Anaful with the long pass here. Seahawks. Oh, that was dangerous there. Needless. Referee will have a word there with Mohammad Mujib. just came down crashing.
Well, slightly sluggish from both the teams early on in the process of trying to get that early goal. Renown FC have committed quite a bit of fouls on the other end. Seahawks have easily lost possession more often than not. Both teams haven't really got into a rhythm as of now. And again, good rush defense coming in from Renown FC, winning the ball in that process, but just getting a bit too excited. Could have waited for support there.
Yeah, Renown number 18, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has been really proactive in making sure that he's pressing and man marking that midfield, coming in really good stead. Here's Warren Pereira, the skipper for the Seahawks. Interesting to see whether he'll send it out wide. Yes, he does. Gets underneath it, however, doesn't find touch. Seahawks now under the press. Yeah, Mujib and Abdul Fattah Ahmed have their defensive roles covered really, really well. Mujib has made those deep runs. Here's the skipper coming in deep. Can he make a break for it? Here's the number 15. Can he get past? Good job from Mohammad Hassan to deny Seahawks. Goal number 1 sends it out to the back. Couple of opportunities here for the Seahawks. Renown so far just happy to counter them. Skipper coming out in front, trying to play a more proactive role here. Threads it through. Unfortunately, bit too much distance for that front winger to cover.
Well, yet again could have done much better there. He had a slight pause in that run, and that eventually gave the time for the goalkeeper to come up front and deny him from scoring. Renown now on the attack. They just have to slow things down here, because they're playing a 4-3-3 formation, and the back four have been playing way up in front, and that has allowed Seahawks to attack very easily than not and find those spaces. If you look at the 2 chances that were created, there was so much space first on the left hand side, and then the last one, he just made an easy run through. So Renown has to be careful. Yes, they are looking to score goals. Yes, they are playing a high line, but then they can't allow Seahawks to get the goal here again.
Yeah, that back four has to be a bit more proactive, but something that might hurt their cause is that Mohammad Risni is now playing up front, moving into that midfield, trying to move the ball towards that front 3 and trying to crowd that midfield. So when your formation is a 4, but then your number 4, your centre back, is moving up in front, that can cause problems. But Renown need to work around that. A lot of pace on that midfield. Number 24 with the beautiful thread. Renown just trying to have some possession on the counter, but unfortunately Georgi Kiev will be very happy with the defensive work that Seahawks have been putting out.
A very interesting point you brought up, Arvind, there. With one from the defensive line playing in front, it completely opens up one side of the pitch, and even in that last move that Seahawks made, there was so much space on the left hand side, and that is one thing they would really have to be careful of. Here's again good work from the goalkeeper though, just letting the ball run out. But those counter attacks so far has been slightly easier to make for the Seahawks, and Renown really have to be careful, as you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I mean, it's clear that Rizni is coming out in front for a purpose. He knows his role as a centre back, but when your centre back is coming up in front, that means he's there to create chances for the side. But then that back line needs to know, okay, like you said, one side of the kitchen is going to be left wide open, and you have to be proactive and reactive towards that. And I feel like the goalkeeper has to play a huge part in that as well. Mohammad Hassan has to marshal his men. Here's the Seahawks once again threading it through to the number 10, Nagur Mira, fighting to keep the ball in possession, sends it out back to Muhammad Hasmir. Crashes into him.
There we go. The first yellow card of the game. It was always coming. Probably the fifth foul that Renown FC have committed since the start of the game. Not even 10 minutes completed. So this is where I was talking. When you have that space open, and when you don't have your backline organized, these sort of fouls tend to happen, as you don't want them to go through. And this is a good opportunity, a very good opportunity early on in the game for Seahawks. They had two golden opportunities. Both of them went in vain, but now they have a free kick. It's not in shooting range, I would say, but a good pass into the box could create some trouble. And it'll be the number 24, David Candy, most probably taking the free kick. And fans in the stands are enjoying a football game in an afternoon on a lovely Tuesday. And here's Candy lining himself up, but he lobs the ball in. Wasn't the worst of free kicks from Candy, but still the ball was inside that box. But then Renown did well to see it off. But Seahawks finds a way to win the ball.
Yeah, a couple of really good crosses coming in from that left wing, courtesy of Nagur Mira and Muhammad Hasmir. Just not enough men near the box to take advantage of it. Couple of times we've seen, yes, good defense from Renown, but really good ball awareness on that wing. And just the amount of possession that they've been able to hold on to without really, feeling the pressure here from Renown. They're playing so close to the box. Conventional wisdom would say that Renown should be mounting the pressure, but Seahawks are just unable to get a good first touch on that one on the right wing. But just incredible composure.
Well, one of the very rarest occasions we've seen that ball travel towards the right wing area. More often than not, Seahawks have looked to pass the ball towards the left wing area, and whenever that has been done yet again.
Yeah, as well as Disney's offside trap working beautifully. The right winger was caught on the off. Here's Risney again, very composed. Daredevil. Oh, good first touch to send it forwards, but unfortunately can't get the pace on that one.
Well, good to see the amount of interest that has grown from week one for Super League. It has been 3 years since we last had the Super League before this edition. The interest week by week has slowly grown, and it is good for the game of football. And again, caught offside there. There was a good through pass, but the attacker was well off. An easy decision to make for the assistant referee. Once again, lovely through pass, but good defense as well. Loses possession, and that's the opening goal. There you go. It was always coming. First chance missed, second chance missed, but the third, he wasn't going to miss that. And that is, of course, our goal scorer, Ezekiel Patrick. He had a golden opportunity just a while ago. He missed that, but now Arvin, he wasn't going to miss that from that range, was he?
Yeah, absolutely not. Real good touch there. And first blood being drawn by the Seahawks. Ezekiel Patrick looked really good out in front. He was looking for those crosses. He was looking for those through balls. And they finally have their just reward. Renown will now be feeling the pressure. We've seen so often during the previous match days, Kevin, the amount of pressure that a side can feel when they concede that first goal. Normally, you can't count it out, but for some reason, once you let that first goal go, the psychological component comes into play.
Absolutely. Well, I thought that the defender had it covered for a moment, but then the goal came out of nowhere because Patrick, he was there, he was pushing to somehow win the ball back, and here's the cross coming in from Renown. A good ball, but then Seahawks has it covered. Will be the first corner kick of the game, and it will be for Renown. We're going back to that goal. The defender should have done a lot better because he did the hard yards, got there, got the ball, but then he just easily gave it back to Patrick, and from that position, Patrick was never going to miss, and it was a very hard save to make for the keeper. And here's the corner taken quickly. Will be another corner for Renown FC. Mohamed Mujib. Well, I beg your pardon, this time it'll just be a throw-in.
Tries to go for the Trivela there. But once again, corner. Crowding out a couple of players in the box, coming out in front now. Floats it in. Can they find their man? Mohamed, rather Voranda Pereira, doing well to get into it. Here's Patrick again with a brace. He's been so good when he's on the hunt. From absolute zero, manufactures a goal out of thin air. Let's have another look at that. Brace for Patrick.
Well, what was Mohamed Hassan doing there? Why did he come so up front? From that range, he had no chance to handle the ball with his hands. He just walked out of the box and just allowed Patrick to score one of the easiest goals that he could ever score. All he had to do was just to tap the ball into the goal. He could have done it. He would have done it any day of the week. But again, Arvin, we spoke about that high backline from Renown FC. And that really has made them pay the price here.
Kevin, as with anything regarding sport, in football, you are dealing with a limited stock of resources. You are dealing with a limited number of men on the field. You are dealing with a limited number of stamina. And when you're playing a high line, the cost to benefit analysis needs to be very careful. Yes, you're playing your four up front, but they need to have a really high work rate to come back down when they need to do their main role, which is not to press but to defend in case a through ball comes in. And in that regard, Renown have not been successful, and the likes of Ezekiel Patrick have capitalized. Rizni just a bit slow off his feet. Reminds me of someone like Sergio Busquets. Just takes all the time in the world, but now spreading it wide. Unfortunately been called off. First phase of the game where we've seen Renown with some possession. Unlucky.
Well, the head coach of Seahawks, George K. Riv, would be really happy. You saw him celebrate after that second goal, because going 2 goals up within the first 20 minutes really boosts a lot of confidence there. I thought that ball went out, but the referee has allowed the play to go on. Renown somehow finds a way to get the ball out, still not out of danger. And that high press from Seahawks has caused a lot of trouble early on in this game for Renown FC, and Renown I spoke about this earlier as well. They didn't really have that rhythm starting off the game. They were committing far too many fouls, trying to find that opening goal. And also they opened up space for Seahawks, which allowing them to create opportunities. 2 good chances missed, and the next 2, they found a way to score.
Yeah, Mujib not really looking to play around, just clearing it. Old school defender. Here's Hasmir and Nagur Mira. Now sending it out back. Looking for their man in the middle. Ezekiel Patrick on the hunt. Good fight from number 7. Can he thread it through to Hasmir now? Crosses it. Blue Star looking very dangerous here. Can they create a chance? This is not from nothing. They've built towards it. Good attempt from the number 7 for Blue Stars, Mohammad Khurshid. Seahawks.
Well, the 2 goals early on will give ample opportunity for Seahawks to be a bit creative here. They will be looking to score more goals in this opening half. Try to increase that deficit, make it really, really hard for Renown.
Yeah, here's Renown just trying to clear the ball out on the defense. Now under the punk, being pressured by the good gegenpress. Seahawks playing a very, very aggressive press here. But that too can work in their favor.
Again, Patrick.
Dear. Rizney. Looking for man, looking for that free throw.
Well, Seahawks have won the ball back, and good work this time from Renown. Here's the counter-attack from Renown. Good cover coming in from the number 22. Raja Karuna doing ever so well to cover it up. Well, Renown looks shell-shocked. There is an ample amount of time left in this game. 1 goal could completely change the complexion. They have to be patient here, and more importantly, they have to have their backline organized as well.
Indeed, indeed. Incredible work rate from Raja Karuna. He's been covering the pitch left to right. He's played a very subtle role. Here's a throw in. Number 16, Enamuel Anaful will be looking to make a break down the wing. Rizney from the back, this time keeping the line ready for any intercepts. High press once again from the Seahawks. Sends it out wide. Can Patrick get to it? Beaten. Very dangerous situation here. Here's the long cross. Number 19 looking for it. Doesn't find the man. Rizney taking his time now. A little complacent here, that back 4. They need to be a bit more proactive. Get off the starting blocks early. You can catch the Seahawks out. And Raja Karuna, talk about his ball tracking. He's always has an idea of where the game is going and where he needs to step in.
Well, doesn't look like the back 4 of Renown will change their positioning, especially after conceding 2 goals. They know that they have to score 2 goals to get back into the game. Again, losing position cheaply there. Seahawks on the move. There is space on the right hand side, and numbers are moving forward. Patrick gets the ball. Patrick brings in the shot, but there was a defender right in front of him.
Yeah, Kamil Hakim, the lone star for that back 4. Just stopped the Seahawks from scoring on more than a couple of occasions there. On that right wing, now making a break.
Good clearance coming in from Renown. They need those sort of efforts to keep them in the game. One more goal, it will turn into an uphill task for them.
Indeed it will. Just around 22 minutes left on the clock. Here's Pereira with the long one. Renown's defense just giving away possession a little too cheaply than they would like. Here's Rizni coming forward, looking for that through pass, but good press on that midfield. Rizni now resorting to the long through. Rajakaruna once again creating a bit of space. The man in the 66 jumper, Nadeem Mohammed in front, fighting for possession, fighting to create a channel. Fazlur Rahman will not be happy with the performance that Renown Sports Club have displayed in the first 25 minutes, especially in the defensive department, Kevin.
Absolutely, Arvin, and he would want them to take more responsibility here. We're just a few minutes away, I said, from the hydration break. Well, not. We'll be taking the hydration break now, and 24 minutes completed. 4 chances for Seahawks, and two of them have been converted, and both goals being scored by Ezekiel Patrick. What a day he's having. Missed one opportunity, but the next 2 he wasn't going to miss. And Renown FC, they need this break. They need a breather. They need to regroup here. If not, this game will run away from their hands. Just 25 minutes completed. We've already seen 2 goals. Anyone would have felt that Renown would be the favourites coming into this game. 3 wins and 2 draws in their 5 games so far. They are one of those challengers for Upcountry Lions who have won all their games. So it is a very, very important game for Renown FC if they are to keep in line with the Upcountry Lions. It doesn't seem like Upcountry Lions are going to lose a game. So make sure that you stay in track by winning games, and those 2 draws, they would have been really, really disappointed to get them. They looked the team to beat early on in the Super League, but the last 3 weeks hasn't really worked in their favour. Well, we are ready, and we'll restart proceedings in a very, very short while.
There's something to think about for Coach Rahman is the fact that chances created. It's not a good comparison between Seahawks and Renown SC. But then again, that back 4 keeps coming back into the topic of conversation. When you can't trust that high line to run back and work, your midfielders, they're not going to be too sure about taking those risks and creating those chances, especially when the Seahawks are playing such a high press. Now, with the opportunity, Rizni sending it out in front with the volley. Rajakaruna clears it.
Quite confused with what Renown are trying to do here. They have a backline so high up, and with the attack, when that ball is just in front of the box, there's no one apart from 1 or 2 people to get behind the ball, and that has been the case so far.
Exactly. I mean, when you're playing such a high line, you would expect your midfield to get out in front.
Absolutely. Even if you had a look at the previous cross, which came in to that one man who was guarded by 4 Seahawks players, there was no chance that he was going to go through them. Again, losing possession cheaply. They are Renowned.
Yeah, David Candy sending it on the right. Good cross there. Can Hasmir get to it?
Well, will be a throw in now for Renown. Lucky. That looked to be a good move from the Seahawks. Lovely cross that was from Candy.
But this is what the Seahawks are doing well. I mean, they're creating opportunity for them. You know, their wingers are out in front, constantly looking for that long lob.
Just look at this picture. There is no one in the center waiting for that ball to come in. Two players on the same side. No one in the center. And how are you going to score goals like that again? If there was one or two people in the middle, it would have been an easy header.
Yeah, that would have been lights out for Warren Pereira. I mean, there's no way. Because yes, the Seahawks are playing well offensively, but you know, defensively they don't need to be doing much. Candy goes down. Play goes on. Good through ball. Increases the pace. Looking for that cross now. Heads it in towards the box. Seahawks still in possession. Here's the number 2.
Well, the amount of through balls that Seahawks have got through in these opening 30 minutes have been pleasing to watch if you are a Seahawks fan. But if you are a Renown fan, you will be wondering what the defense is doing. Just letting that ball go through 2 defenders ever so easily. Especially in dangerous territory. Will be a drop ball.
Fazlul Rahman not looking too pleased from the sidelines. Muhammad Hassan trying to send it out long. Indeed he does. Gets a lot of height on it. Candy gets underneath it. Opportunity has been fouled, but play goes on. Oh, really good Joga Bonito from the Seahawks. Now Renown creating a couple of chances, threading it through. Here's the number 14. Really good rush there from Muhammad Hasmir, who's covering the entire pitch in footprints. You wouldn't expect your winger to come that down, to go that deep and do your defensive work for you. But indeed, Hassan Pereira this time beating the man in blue. Really just total football here from the Seahawks. The wingers retreating back. It's almost like the inverse of Liverpool not some years ago, where the likes of an inverted wing back, you know, would come down from the deep to assist on the wing. Referees just having a word with the gaffer. But yeah, just name dropping a big club there, just to identify that Seahawks are really borrowing from one of the best playbooks there is for their brand of football. Just the gaffer for Renown having had a stern talking to with the referees. Moments and sparks of excellence. Here's Al-Bastawizi sending it out long. He can afford to do that. There's plenty of men out on the deep. Here's the number 19, Warren Pereira on the wing. There you go. That centre back comes out in front. Number 10 looking for that cross. He's been really good.
Again, now winning the ball and just giving it back to Seahawks has been the story so far for the Renown FC players. Here's Patrick bringing in that lovely pass. Seahawks in good territory.
Yeah, Nagur Mira doing really well to take on a couple of defenders, create an open path there, but unfortunately no one on the center. Play on, Candy gets it from range on the far post. That was Pawan Vimukti. Good attempt there from around 30 yards.
Ambitious attempt there. But he saw the opportunity and he took the opportunity. And they can afford to do so here, Seahawks, because they know they have a 2-goal lead. One more goal would really make things much easier for them. So they won't be afraid to take those chances. And they certainly know that Renown so far haven't really been a threat while Renown are on the attack. Their positioning has been quite questionable with defense and with the attackers as well.
And aerially, duels won. It's all been blue. Candy just getting under the skin of Farik Ahmed. All smiles for David Candy. However, he knows he's getting what he wants. Muhammad Kursit and Pawan Vimukti on the porch. Ezekiel Patrick out in front looking for that cross. Here's Varun Pereira sending out to Kursit. Rajakaruna sends it out wide. Can they get to it? Navindu Silva gives chase. Unlucky. Really good chemistry as well for the Seahawks. This is how you know that this side is a well-drilled outfit, because you know where your players are. You can afford to send a blind through pass. You can afford to send it out long, because you know your players know their positioning. That's so important. You have to have that trust. Unfortunately for Renown, not really producing the actions that would create such trust. But then again, you have to keep possession for a bit to identify the kind of game you want to play. David Candy and the likes of that midfield now stealing it. Rizney doing well, coming out in front. Can they create a channel here? Here's the number 14 sending out back. Can afford to be a bit more enterprising here. Good press. Patrick and Vimukti just badgering and pestering, harassing that back line. Rizney is a good creator, has a good eye. Now moving up front, looking for the ball. Number 11 to number 14. Sends it out in the middle, gets a good first touch on it. Still with the ball. Number 18 heading out wide, trying to cross it in. Rajakaruna once again. Pardon, that was Muhammad Hasmir.
Well, a very, very important challenge coming in there from Hashmir, because Ahmed was making a good run. All he needed was that final cross, and there were a few players waiting for that cross to come in, and at the right time Hashmir made that challenge. Corner taken quickly, the cross comes in and finds the head, but a good save, a very good save, an equally better save on the second attempt. There wasn't a lot of pace in that header, but that was a much needed save coming in from the Seahawks goalkeeper. Elbastawizi had the cross had a bit more pace, would have really tested Elbastawizi there. It was just lobbed into the box. He was looking to find the man, Dan get a lot more power behind that cross. It almost worked out. And that was a very, very heavy challenge coming in from Abdullah Fatah Ahmed. Seahawks now just toying with the two attackers up front for Renown. Lovely header. Patrick with the ball again. A much needed clearance coming in from Mohammad Mushfir. If not, would have been another good opportunity, that is for the Seahawks. His second touch is slightly heavy, taking the ball a bit up front. Candy with a lovely ball towards the right wing. Seahawks again and again asking questions from the Renown defense. Space opening up for Renown. Here's Mujib. Can he get one good pass in? Renown getting closer and closer to that box. Here's the cross, a lot more pace, and did he get fingertips to it? Seems like he did. Wasn't expecting him to shoot from that range. It was anyways going to go over, but then a valiant attempt coming in from Renown.
But this is what you want from your players. Mohammad Mushfir with a brilliant shot from range, just clears the crossbar. Here's Mohammad Mujib. He's been the set piece man, crosses it in, just trying to keep position, but Raja Karuna coming in fast. Rizni clears things. Here's the number 6 with a brilliant cross. El Bastawizi on the ready. Dilip Piris gives chase. Hasmir sending it now. Vimukti coming down now on the deep. Here's Varun Pereira. Just a couple minutes of play left on that first half. Vimukti sending it out wide. David Candy gets a good first touch on it. Gets past to. Goes for an attempt on range. But Muhammad Hassan gets his hands on. Now on the counter, unfortunately, successful passes not really being completed here. Here's Hasmir sending it out wide. Play on David Candy. He's been really good with his dribbles and duels. Muhammad Khurshid tries to go for the big one. Here's Vimukti sending it to the skipper Pereira. Khurshid looking for the open man. Here's Hasmir coming down on the back. Khurshid sends it out wide. Now near the halfway. Pavan Vimukti looking for chances here. I'm really liking this double pivot. Khurshid, big number 3, real good attempt there. David Candy gets a good first touch. Unfortunate there, didn't manage to keep it in. So not clear what happened. Rizni Yeah, referee and one of the renowned players just having a chat that got way more heated than it needed to. Here's Hassan with the long one. Ezekiel Patrick sending it out to Vimukti. Oh, good pass there. Bit tough for Kursit to receive. David Candy sends it out back to El Bastawisi. He'll be going for the long one. Couple of minutes left. Warren Pereira gives chase, unable to get to it. Immediately with the high press. Muhammad Shahil and Rizni playing in the same third. This might be the opening. Good clearance from Rajakaruna. Vimukti in the deep. Number 14 sending it to Dilip Piris. David Candy now on the midfield. Here's Kurshit sending it to Vimukti. This double pivot moving forward slowly bit by bit, looking to thread it in. Here's Hasmir, dribbles it in towards the net, goes for the low cross. Farik Ahmed clears it. Vimukti and Candy once more. Hasmir. Vimukti once again getting a lot of touches on this game. 4 minutes of added time before we wrap things up for the first half. Here's Warren Pereira. If you look at the structure of the Seahawks, Kevin, just really fluid. You know, their wingers. Here we go. Vimukti with the attempt. Hassan gets a really good save in there.
Well, a much needed save that coming in from Hassan. Had he let that ball go through, would have made things much more easier for Seahawks. And what Seahawks will be looking for in these final few minutes is to get another goal, make that 3-0, which puts them in a comfortable seat when they come back into that second half. And on the other hand, Renown will feel that they are a much better side than this. They are not a side to concede 2 goals in 15 minutes. They are not a side who will sit back for long. Hasn't really been their day so far. Again, Seahawks with possession from a very good area. The cross will now come in. Good covering from Renown. Here's the attempt from long range. Offside called by the referee. Will be relieved there, Renown, to see that offside flag go up. They are struggling. They are really struggling here, Renown. Haven't been very fluent with the attack. And their defense have looked depleted so far in this game. This is where I feel the coach Fazlur Rahman have to have a good talk with these boys when they get into the dugout, or rather the dressing room, during the halftime break. Here's an opportunity opening up for Renown FC. Can they get some momentum going into that halftime break? Attempts a shot from long range, but it was not going to be easy from that range to get a goal. There was no power behind it, and the direction was well off as well. That was Farik Ahmed. But looks like Renown have won themselves a free kick here.
Opportunity here. They have to get something cooking in this first half. Just 1 minute of play left before the referee goes for lemons here.
one last opportunity for Renown to take something away from this opening half. It will be Farik Ahmed behind that ball. I don't think he will go at goal from this range, a tight angle. If he does, that will be really, really ambitious, especially with him being right-footed. There are 6 men in front of him waiting for that ball. A lobbed cross would be the ideal option for Farik Ahmed.
Rizni on that far angle. Dilip Piri is giving chase.
Well, seems like that'll be it for the opening half. A half dominated by Seahawks. Nothing much to speak about for Renown SC. But the job is far from done. You know how good of a team Renown FC are. And they won't sit back. They will need points out of this game. And they will come back stronger in that second half. But for them to do that, they will have to believe in themselves. And they will have to regroup, re-strategize and rethink on what they are going to do in the second half.
Here's halftime confirmation for you folks. Seahawks FC running right here. 2-0 Renown FC. Plenty of work for them to do. Super League 2026 match number 30. And with that folks, I think it's a good idea to see just how the first 45 minutes of the game went. Brilliant cross there. Couple of opportunities come a-begging. Couple of fouls here, and it was Ezekiel Patrick that did the damage here. You could see that Renown were a little too overzealous in their defensive effort. Brilliant cross there and denied again, and Ezekiel Patrick really creating an opportunity from thin air, just giving chase to the ball all the way. And then it was on the rebound from El Bastavisi that Patrick found the ball there. Once again, it was Kamil Hakim being beaten by Patrick, and a couple of shots from range. David Candy getting under the skin of a couple of the Renown players. El Bastavisi with a magnificent save there, and Hassan as well, just putting in the work from Vimukti. And there were a couple of chances created, granted, for Renown FC as the first half went on, but nothing to be capitalized as of yet. But the hope is that when they come back for that second half, they will have built on the momentum and will pose a bigger threat. And indeed, they will have to. But for the time being, it's off to the bricks. Stay tuned with us, and we'll see you on the other side.
පාපන්දුව අපිට විශේෂයි. 2024 වෙනකොට අපි හිටියේ පාපන්දු ලෝක ශ්‍රේණිගත කිරීම වල 206 වෙනි ස්ථානයේ. අපි දැන් 187 වෙනි ස්ථානය දක්වා ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සරසරටම එකතු වෙන ජය පිටියක්
රටවල් 20ක් අවුරුදු එකහමාරක් වගේ ඇතුළත අභිබවලා ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒක මම හිතන්නේ පාපන්දු ශේෂ්ත්‍රය අපිට විශාල ජයග්‍රහණයක්. තව මෙතනත් ඉස්සරහට ගිහිල්ලා අපිට ආසියාවේ හොඳම කණ්ඩායම් බවට පත් වෙන්න අපි උත්සාහ දරමින් ඉන්නවා.
අපි දිනමු ජය ගමන පෙරට අපි දිනමු.
ක්‍රීඩකයන් අතර පාපන්දු ක්‍රීඩාව ජනප්‍රිය කරන්න අපි විශාල උත්සාහයක් ගනිමින් ඉන්නවා.
රටම එකතු වෙන ජය පිටියක්.
අපිට මේ අවුරුද්දේ අපි උත්සාහ ගන්න ඊළඟට අපිට එන දකුණු ආසියානු පාපන්දු තරඟාවලියේ කුසලානය දිනා ගන්න අපි තරඟ කරන්න තමයි අපි සැලසුම් කරන්නේ. අවුරුදු 31කට පස්සේ අපි මේ උත්සාහය ගන්න. මොකද අපි අවුරුදු 31කින් කුසලානය ජයග්‍රහණය කළා නැහැ. ඉතින් ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි වැඩසටහන් ගණනාවක් හදලා තියෙනවා.
දිනමු හැම බන්දු පාපන්දු දිනමු 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 නැත වේද නැත වාද රට දිනන තැනට හැමදේම
finds a pass. Here's an opportunity. What a shot! And Leon Ferreira racks the net for the home side in what was an absolutely beautiful move for Sri Lanka. Sam Duran down this left flank, running into space, squares it, and what an assist! Oh, what a play!
Went through the first 40. Silva making a break in the corner, drives it in the middle,
and that's the first goal. It's Raja Mohan.
The 2-goal cushion will really put Chinese Taipei out of this tie. And once again now, De Silva, as we mentioned about that 2-goal cushion.
Here's Rosic driving that in. That's the third goal for Sri Lanka.
From range, and that's been the kind of day, but Kellogg makes no mistake to give for Sri Lanka.
a shot, and that's the first goal.
You are our family and we are your family. This family together, we need to take this game forward that the country went through in 2022 in terms of economy, in terms of business, education, Aragalaya. Then again, we went through a suspension period. So lots of hardship. But one thing we had in common was we were together. Whatever the differences we had in the past or in football, when it come to football, when it come to federation, when it come to governance, we all of us were united together. We fought against the suspension. We fought against the interference. We fought against political involvements, but all 67 we were together. This unity is something that makes us different from all other sports. We have 78 sports, I think, in the country registered, but we are so much of different. We are different from other sports because when it comes to important matters, national matters, government matters, we are together. This is the only way our game, our country's football can go forward. Sometimes we'll have differences, sometimes we'll have opinions, sometimes we'll have elections. It doesn't matter. We can have our own opinion. You can choose whoever you want. That's different. But when we are together, if you want to protect our game, if you want to take our game, we are one family.
Welcome back, folks. Very important 45 minutes coming your way. This is number 3 and number 4 taking on each other, Seahawks FC and Renown FC. A very important game for both the teams as we are heading into the 7th week. This is the final game of the 6th week. Renown FC trailing by 2 goals. Seahawks got those 2 goals in the first 20 minutes, have imposed a lot of pressure on their opponents, and we are set and ready for the second half, and both teams wouldn't want to lose this game as Seahawks are in a commandable position heading into the second 45. And here we go, winning territory early on here. Renown FC, they just kicked the ball out and took play back into the half of Renown FC. I beg your pardon, the Seahawks FC. They have to be a lot more proactive here. Renown FC. Again, a lot of space opening up for Seahawks. And a very important clearance coming in from Renown FC. But the first throw in of the second half will fall in the ways of the Seahawks. The 2 goals that they've scored has really put Renown FC on the back foot. Renown started off the league well, winning 3 back-to-back games with some commendable performances, but in the next 2 weeks, 2 draws in a row that really put their season back. Here's an opportunity opening up. The idea was right to get the through ball in, but not a lot of pace behind that ball. And again, a silly challenger from Renown FC. The first foul of the second half. And the discipline of Renown FC hasn't really been the best. On the other end, Seahawks have been very well disciplined, hasn't really conceded a foul as of now. Here's Murshid with the free kick. A lot of men just outside of the box. Brings the cross in. Just out of reach of those 2 men. Was trying to do and run towards it to get at the end of it. Renown needs a goal and needs it very quickly here. On the other end, one thing Seahawks can't do is to sit back and relax, because as you know, 2-goal leads can be very, very dangerous. We've seen it very often in football. Whenever a team has had a 2-goal lead, the opponents, more often than not, have closed it down.
Yes, indeed, and there's the complacency factor that plays into it as well, because you have to remember, for 49 minutes the Seahawks have played with really little to no opposition. You can really catch a side unawares when you put on the afterburners after a phase like that. And certainly in this half, that's what Renown will be hoping to do. Foul being committed by Hasmir. Just reading up on his file, Hasmir, his 2 positions, he plays up front on the left wing and as a left back as well. Being reflected in his style of play, comes back forward to defend. Really high work rate there, but just goes a long way to explain the type of dynamic game that Seahawks are afforded to play. David Candy now coming in. Really good chemistry. Couple of 1-touch, 2-touch passes. Here's Warren Pereira. Goes for the low laying cross. Sends it back. Tries to create a chance. Murshik. Renown with possession here on the fast break. Can they get to it? Hasmir coming back for the defense. Not pressing too hard. Lone strike out in front. Again. Coach Rahman will be incensed about the lack of support up front, limiting their own options. Here's Nadeem Ahmad with the throw in.
Well, Renown now in good position here. All they need is to open up some space. They have to be patient, and an opportunity will come their way. 1 goal could completely change the complexion of the game. Here's the cross coming in, but a good head from the Seahawks defender, and Seahawks with Patrick, who has been caught offside. Looked like going to cause a lot more trouble to Renown. Fortunately, he was caught offside there. Renown needs to be a lot more creative here. They have been one-dimensional throughout this game. and they can't afford to do so in the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes or so. I beg your pardon. Well, that was a very rare foul committed from Seahawks as Renown will now have a free kick. Not the most strongest of headers coming in from Shahil. Shahil somehow manages to keep the ball in, but didn't take long for him to lose possession. Will be another throw in for Renown. They're showing urgency, but do they have the extra bit of magic in them to get a goal? Will be the first corner of the second half, and yet again it falls the way of Renown. The cross comes in, but reaches out well there, the Seahawks defender. The ball still in danger area, and that will be the goal for Renown. They wanted it, they needed it, and it is Mohammad Mujib, the provider, probably their best player on the pitch thus far, and he finds a way on the rebound.
Talking about those opportunities, having players in front, looking to attack the neck. El Bastawisi with the save on the first attempt, but unfortunately for him, and very very fortunately for Renown, Mujib heads it in easy as you would like, and now suddenly the tempo, the tone, the flavor of the game suddenly turning on its head.
Well, here's a Blue Hawks. Will that be a penalty? No, says the referee. But Mujib was very very fortunate there, to be honest. That ball just ricocheted off El Bastawisi's hands. He made a good save, and Mujib had a clear path there. It felt right onto his head, and all he had to do was to guide the ball in, and that's exactly what he did. A rare mishap from the Seahawks defense, as they allowed a lot of space for Mujib, and it was very open for him. Now the game has opened up, and it is going to be an interesting 37 minutes or so coming your way. And getting that goal early on in the second half would have eased a lot of nerves. Here's Mujib again, putting in a good ball. That'll be another foul, that'll be another free kick. This time in kicking range, and that's a yellow card shown straight away to Muhammad Khurshid. Fazlur Rahman would be much happy with the performance that he has seen in the second half from his boys. Would have had a tough team talk during that halftime break. And it looks to be Farik Ahmed who will be taking this free kick. As far as distance is concerned, it is a bit longer for Khurshid to have an attempt at goal, but the angle suggests that he might try his luck out here. Some nerves showing up on the Seahawks coach. Here's
Farik Ahmed. On target, but well above the crossbar. Al Bastawisi suddenly having to increase his work rate. Here's Chaturaponna Peruma with a low-lying clearance. Oh dear. Now threads it in forwards. Here's Patrick. Pivots out. Couple of misplaced passes there. Saving graces for Renown. Now playing a high tempo game. Varun Pereira. Hard man. Now in the middle.
The caught offside there. Seahawks and Renown are on the counter attack now. Here's Mujib trying to take that ball in front to Dilip Piris. Had a very silent opening half, the Seahawks goalkeeper El Bastavisi, but he had to do a lot of work in the second half, and he would have expected this from Renown SC as well, especially after conceding 2 goals. They are a very, very good outfit, Renown SC. And you can't expect them to sit back. And now Seahawks has another good opportunity. Good ball in. Here's the opportunity opening up for Patrick. But a much needed clearance coming in from the Seahawks. Mujib, he's everywhere on the pitch, outside of the boot. But unfortunately, Mohammad Chahil has been guilty of being offside. But what a run from Mujib that was. And an excellent ball towards Shahil as well. Shahil could have done a lot better as far as his positioning is concerned, because that ball, even had he been on an onside position, he could have made that run. Showing a lot more urgency here. Renown. Rush defense winning the ball. Patrick just skies the ball over. Could have been his hat-trick. And as we speak about that, a change coming in for the Seahawks. As Nagur Mira, that'll be his time. And he will be replaced by Vijay Sundaram Yugesh. But what an opportunity that was for Patrick. One more touch would have made things much easier for him. Look at that. There was no one in front of him. The goalkeeper wasn't rushing forward as well. He could have just controlled the ball.
Again, that risk-reward formula of that high line for Renown, just tipping towards risk. Here's Kursit sending it out wide. Oh dear, massive cross from Mohammad Hasmir. He's able to find his man. Brilliant effort. Unfortunately, Yugesh Vijay Sundaram unable to find touch. Talk about an opportunity gone begging here. Here's Varun Pereira. Heads it out.
Well, good ball, but Mujib doesn't have the legs to get behind it. Mujib gets the ball, and that's the second goal! Out of nowhere, Renown SC have equalized. Would you believe it? Dilip Piris, the scorer, but that was Mujib again, doing the hard yards. And exactly, the love shown towards him. Look at that, he didn't give up. Mujib went there. Passed the ball on to Dilip Piris, and Dilip Piris had the easiest of jobs to do. He would have slept and then hit the ball into the goal. What was the defender thinking? Could have just cleared the ball out if he wasn't so sure of what he was going to do.
Yeah, massive errors here piling up for the Seahawks, who have now inspired the anger of head coach K. Rive, and justifiably so, blowing a 2-0 lead. Kevin, you called it. 30 minutes of play left. This game has suddenly gone from inevitable to very, very interesting. We're just having a conversation, weren't we, during that first half, that performance not really befitting the reputation that Renown Sports Club had. And now suddenly, a bit of suspicion that the Combox is not as soundproof as we may have thought.
Well, this is exactly what I said. 2 goals leads could be dangerous because you tend to sit back and relax a bit. And that is exactly what Seahawks did. And they have paid the price for it. Here's the shot coming in. Off the post. This has been an entertaining game.
UKS has been a revelation off the bench. Carved in, created space for himself, went at it on the far post. Mohammad Hassan had absolutely no chance of getting to it. Yes, now they've equalized, but Seahawks still very much on the hunt, and even more so that number 14 has been brilliant off the bench. UKS Vijay Sundaram. Here's Renown once again, looking for that cross, lays low. Sending it out to Patrick, looking for the man in the middle. Hasmir a little bit too slow off the starting blocks. Renown now looking to start a phase back up from the back. David Candy. Immense work being showed in that midfield. He's been very busy defensively and offensively. Warren Pereira now just shaking his head. Yeah, he ought to be. Very unbelievable speed at which the game turned on its head. Once again, Renown.
Well, Arvin, we've seen 4 goals so far, and none of the goals have been very convincing, hasn't it? All has been defensive errors from both the sides, allowing the opponents to score easy goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all could have been avoided.
Just so much complacency defensively for both of these sides heading into their next fixture. Absolutely something to have a conversation about, but for the time being, more than 25 minutes of play left, so if they can fix this on the go, whichever side does it first, well, they have the running advantage here. Cutting in back, that was good. Once again, Vijay Sundaram with the shot from range. Mohammad Hassan will be on the lookout for that man.
Interesting times ahead for both the teams. Dark clouds have surrounded Sugata Dasa. Probably in another 10-15 minutes it may rain, so the teams would want to score a goal before it rains, because under those conditions it is going to be really difficult to get goals and to make those runs. So weather will definitely be in concern for both the teams. And a substitution, 2 substitutions are being made for Renown. Dilip Peris will be replaced by Hanadigi. And we'll also see the introduction of Mohammad Akil. And both the forwards, Shahir and Peris, have made their way out. Interesting call. This is from Fazlur Rahman. You would have expected the experienced campaigners on the field, but he might have felt that he need 2 fresh legs in. So he has brought in 2 youngsters in the form of Situka Hanadige and Mohammad Akil. Can they make a difference here? Out of nowhere, in a matter of 5 minutes or so, Renown found 2 goals to equalize. And with 25 minutes to go in the game, anything could happen from here.
Yeah, Ahmed Akif, he's been a chance creator out in front, coming off the bench in the second half. He'll be careful not to make any unforced errors here. Just goes for it hard. Tough but fair call from the ref. Took a clean bit of that shin along with the ball. Akif has to be careful not to shoot themselves in the foot here.
Momentum clearly with Renown SC. I said Renown looked shell-shocked when Seahawks scored the first 2 goals. Now it has turned vice versa. The Seahawks can't really seem to be processing what has happened here. And that man Mujib, he made important runs in the first half, but there was no support for him from the center. And the difference in the second half, Arvin, we spoke about this, is that they've had men waiting for that ball right at the center. So those crossings coming in from the right wing. Heavy first touch from Vijay Sundaram Yugesh. Allowing Renown to win the ball back. Another good cross, a long cross. Renown with possession. Here's the substitute with the ball. He will look to bring the cross in, but Mohammad Hashmir does well. They are to win the ball back. And he had to make that challenge. If not, had the cross gone in, could have been another goal scoring opportunity for Renown SC. The 2 substitutes made by Renown SC caught everyone by surprise. Here's Yugesh. Yugesh from a very tight angle goes in for that shot, but it was way off target. Might as well opted to pass the ball into someone who was running along with him, and rightfully so. He apologizes. He turns towards the bench. With the ball. Here's Candy. Candy to the skipper. Skipper brings the cross in, but it was Emmanuel Anaful was in the way, clearing the ball out. Renown now with the counter-attacking opportunity. Challenge there again. A very poor throw in from Renown SC. Here's Patrick to Candy. Candy brings in that lob. End-to-end football here at Sugdhidasa. This is the final game of week 6. Brings the cross in. But a very important leg that was from Moranda Pereira. Hadn't he got any boot to that, would have been an easy opportunity.
Moranda Pereira, the skipper, showing you why he wears the green band. A couple of massive saves, getting themselves out of trouble. Here's Farik Ahmed, sending it out onto the wing. Mujib sending it back to Nadeem Ahmed, trying to build it from the back. And the Seahawks not really pressing as harshly as they were. Kamil Hakim, when he's been on the come up, He's been locked down by a couple of defenders. Now, can they build the counter? Here's Yugesh. Sending it back to Khurshid. David Candy sending it out wide.
Renown on the counter-attack. Does well there, Yugesh, to track back and win the position. Silly foul committed there. Mohammad Khurshid went down quickly, and the referee was right in front of him, so he quickly blew his whistle. Interesting 19 minutes or so with whatever added time we'll get at the end of full time. A long crossing. There's no one there. The referee calls a free kick again. He says the number 18 Emmanuel Anaful, I beg your pardon, Abdullah Fatah Ahmed, was having his boot so high up. An interesting call that was from the referee, because he clearly got to the ball first, and it wasn't that much of a dangerous challenge from Atafa. And this is what I was talking about before, Arvin. The rain gods have opened up.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the next 20 minutes or so will play out. Ball is going to get very difficult to handle. Mohammad Hassan will not look too comfortable in just a couple of minutes, I'm willing to wager, and he's the equivalent on the other side. El Bastawizi will be very uneasy as well, giving chase now.
Well, the rain has started pouring out here, as does Sukadadasa. Tough, dire conditions these for both the teams. They are drawn level at 2-all as of now. Who will have that final laugh at the end of this game?
Yeah, Renown just attempted shots just increasing exponentially as the second half has gone down. Warren Pereira will go for the big clear. Gets a little bit of distance on it. Candy getting it to Akif. Coming from the back here, Hasmir sending it out in front. Here's Patrick fighting for it. Good duels between the front three and the back four, between Seahawks and Renown now. Things you love to see.
The rain gets heavier and heavier here. Mujib will handle the ball there. Patrick, if I'm not wrong, but then there was Candy rather, and there was a clear foul from Atefa Ahmed.
Yeah, will there be a set piece for them? Going in from range, goes for the cross.
Well, I have to say, Arvin, that it is not going to be easy to play under these conditions, especially here at Sugurdasa. Not at its best now. It used to be one of the best grounds going around in the country. There are a lot of patches, and a lot of muddy patches will open up as well. Yeah. Here's the skipper, Warren Pereira, slips while trying to cross the ball into the box. Here's Khurshid to Warren, brings the cross in, a good cross. Can he get the shot out? Excellent save. Excellent save coming in from Mohammad Hassan. That was magnificent from him, from close range. On any other day, that ball would have gone past him, but look at him. Look at him, very brave, onto his face.
Yeah, Jugesh Vijay Sundaram just finding that cross beautifully all the way from Varun Pereira, but Hassan putting hours in the office and just showing you his pedigree.
Well, Yugesh was going for more power than placement there. He had ample opportunity to just guide the ball on either sides of the goalkeeper, but instead he just bashed it onto his face. A very crucial opportunity gone in vain for the Seahawks. Will that be the talking point at the end of the game? Renown will be very relieved. Does well, they are the substitute. Loses possession.
Yeah, these duels for possession will be very interesting to see now that Rain is the 12th man on the pitch. Going to be very interesting indeed. Here's Mohammad Hasmir playing in the left back.
Space opening up for the Seahawks.
Now Varun Pereira coming out in front, playing the creator role. Patrick, oh dear, chance gone begging for Ahmed Akif. Ezekiel Patrick gave that to him on a silver platter and Akif bungles it. Just way too much pace and lift on it. Comes down hard on the bottom of the ball. Could have sent it top bins to the far post. Unfortunate.
Well, I felt like Patrick wasn't trying to pass the ball onto him. He was rather trying to cut the ball back and get a shot out through his left leg. But it was there was just a bit more pace on towards it, and found that number 11 of Renown FC, which is Ahmed Akif, and he could have done a lot better there.
Indeed, both players just failing the assignment. Ezekiel Patrick, he's been good on his first touch, but now with Rain coming in, just unable to get his second. Things like this.
Two good chances in quick successions are gone in vain for Seahawks. 13 minutes to go in the game. Renown has to be cautious. The last time when two good chances went in vain, Seahawks came back stronger to score a couple of goals. Varun Pereira has had a better second half despite his team conceding 2 goals. He has been that one man guiding the ship, guarding the ship. Goes long with that, the renowned goalkeeper. Renown. Wanted a bit of magic, and that they found that bit of magic early on in the second half to get 2 goals in quick successions. Roughly 11 minutes to go as per our clock. There will be more time added on, but none of these teams would want this game to be decided on the injury time. Rather, they would want to try to seal the game before the 90 minutes die down. Cross coming in, a good one at that, but just over.
El Bastawizi now relying on Varun Pereira to find their man. Asmir now has to play all around the ground now to create those chances. Just around 10 minutes left of regular time.
There'll be minimum of 4 minutes at least at a time, or even a bit more.
Abdul Fattah Ahmed gets high. No one gets underneath it. Still in the box now from range. El Bastawizi gets his hands on it. Can they get the counter? Here we go. Opportunity for Patrick. Good clearance from Kamil Hakim. Patrick goes down hard.
Well, but I felt that the Renown player got to the ball first.
Indeed, there was a clinical, good hard man defense there. This is what you wouldn't mind a foul here. You'd much rather foul than get Patrick out in front.
Well, we were talking about behind the screens about Patrick having long legs and the Renown players are being slightly shorter. It has been easier for him to get past those players, but in the second half, what Renown SC has done well is that they have got in front of Patrick rather than being behind him. So they've found a way to cover him up, even had Patrick got those runs in trying to get past them. So there has been a slight adjustment which has really worked in favour of Renown in the second half.
Yeah, they've let those centre-backs flank their penalty box, which has really worked in good stead. Here's El Bastawizi being made to run. Renown, I would say, coming out slightly ahead in terms of the goal-scoring threats being generated between the two sides. El Bastawizi, he's not had to work too hard in that first half. Warren Pereira once again with the huge clearance.
Pereira goes long with the ball yet again. Finds a Renowned player instead of his own. Look at those puddles at the center of the pitch.
Yeah, going to be a very difficult 12 minutes. If 4 minutes is the quota that's being added.
You'll see a lot of long balls coming in these final few minutes, because it's not going to be easy to get those 1-2 touches in and pass the ball along the ground, because it is not going to have a lot of pace. It will stop halfway through. El Bastawizi this time takes the clearance on his own, and he does a good job there. Renown now have a throw in, or rather it will be Seahawks with the throw in.
David Candy with a huge opportunity here. Unlucky. Pawan Vimukti heading it over. Just accidentally creating a chance there for Akif.
Well, as things stands, it seems like it will be the third draw in a row for the Renown SC players and the team. But still, 7 minutes to go in the game. Slightly dangerous pass that was from the Seahawks defender with the conditions.
I'll tell you this much, Kevin. Chances being created by both sides. A lot can happen in these next 10 minutes. Number 11 threading it through. Patrick unable to find.
Emmanuel Anafel doing well there to cover the ball and to get his goalkeeper in front to collect the ball. As you can see, that side of the pitch, there's not a lot of water. So Renown might look to get the ball there very often than not in these final 6 minutes. Candy.
Candy's been marked in that midfield a little bit. He's been a chance creator. Just growing a little frustrated there. Warren Pereira coming out in front. Handing things over to Kursit for the big cross. Hassan. Trying to go long here. Interesting to see what options he will explore.
Just toying with the Seahawks attacker there, Hassan. Now hits the ball on the drop. Candy does well Looked like he was going to fall down there. Mujib wasn't intentional from him. It wasn't really intentional at all from Mujib. He just slipped. And unfortunately, he had his feet up. We can have a replay of that. Has been one of the better players on the pitch so far today. Mujib scoring a goal, assisting one, being everywhere on the pitch.
Yeah, Mujib being bought out in lieu of Mohammad Ashad. Bit tough there. Unfortunate.
Well, but I felt like it was the yellow card was shown for the first challenge on Candy rather than the second challenge where he slipped. He got a bit of a boot onto Candy's ankle.
Shamil Ahmed working his way into the pitch as well. New players being blooded aplenty. Good cross, finds Patrick. Heads it in towards the box. Players heading in. Can they get it cleared? It's a corner.
Excellent press coming in now from Seahawks. Not giving any space for the defenders of Renown to clear the ball out. That was yet again that man, the skipper, Varane Pereira. Quickly taken corner there. Does well. Still with possession. Here's Seahawks. Seahawks. Can they get a shot in? They do, but it goes straight into the heads of the renowned defender. Another good chance gone begging. They're still with possession here are the Seahawks. Counter-attacking opportunity now for Renown. Seahawks will now make a change as Mohammad Safran will make his way in for Ezekiel Patrick. And Ezekiel Patrick, of course, has scored a couple of goals in the game. In that opening half, he was the one who opened up the game for Seahawks, and he has been taken out. Well, seems like both the teams want to take their best players out, not risk injuring them.
Yeah, indeed, with this wet turf, that's the last thing you want. I mean, at this point, yes, you're creating chances, but also very slim that you'll create the opportunity, and you need that little burst of energy. So all things in your favor for bringing in those subs.
Absolutely, Arvin, and most of the substitutions made have been the youngsters, and they would want to make a mark, and so that's a good option to take because they would want to score goals, they would want to create opportunities, and especially with just few minutes to go, they will want to be that star. So that will give you the opportunity, and that will give you that burst that you need in these final few minutes. We have a argy-bargy going there, but all done, all good.
Yeah, tempers just flaring now and there. Kursit working his way from the midfield. Candy looking for that cross. It's the skipper cutting back in, looking for Kursit to make that run on the intercept here. Renown, can they build something? The number 7 coming off the bench, getting past the player. Not a lot of pace on him. Difficult to generate it. But Ponna Peruma just finding his man.
Well, very unfortunate there for Mohammad Ashad. With that water around on the surface, it was always going to be difficult for him to bring that run in. Here's Emmanuel Anaful. Goes long with his cross. A decent one, but not fortunate enough to find a colleague from his own team. Seahawks now on the attack. Some long levers from Candy. Brings in a good pass, but the goalkeeper will have it covered. 5 minutes of added time. 90 minutes completed. Is there one roll in the dice for either of these teams? The rain has stopped, but it has done the damage. 2-2 it is here at Sugdadasa, as Hassan will take this ball long. Seahawks, they were leading 2-0 at the end of the opening half. One would have expected them to get just better and better. But then Renown, you can't write them off. We spoke about this at the beginning of the second half. And it didn't take much time for them to get 2 goals. Here's Seahawks. Good ball in. Good ball in. Is there support in the center? But that cross in could have been a lot better. Was over you guys. Muhammad Akif had the opportunity to take a bit of time and then bring the cross in. But he went at one go and he just overcooked it. Will be a disappointed coach, Georgie Kerev. He looked very excited in the first half, but the second half, he hasn't been very happy. Slipped. Foul, says the referee. Unnecessary. Unnecessary there from the substitute, Mohamed Safran, going after the referee for being caught for that infringement. Slightly unfortunate there. Safran didn't do much wrong. Was coming behind. He didn't bring that leg in. But that was unnecessary from him. He didn't have to do that. He got the ball as well. But the referee's decision will be the final decision. 2 minutes completed. Just 3 minutes to go here. Renown, let's see.
Yeah, a couple of chances being created in these last 20 minutes, unfortunately, for Renown. And I would say very fortunately for the Seahawks. Those chances have gone begging. Seahawks, on the other hand, they had a perfect game in that first half. Question should be asked. They've played a pretty consistent game. Unfortunately, Renown coming into their own. Something a neutral fan will enjoy very, very much.
Well, that chance which you guys missed in the second half might be haunting Seahawks.
Yeah, this could be.
Seahawks. Just over. Just over.
Safran very frustrated with the quality of the cross. There's not much he could have done there.
Well, he was trying to go at goal from that angle, and with 2 players inside the box, could have gone for that cross, or rather a cutback. He was going for glory.
Yeah, not what you want in the dying minutes of a 2-2 tie. Safran well within his rights to be frustrated there, I would say. That was a sitter that could have gone, everyone said, and Safran would have had the easiest time getting it towards the net.
Well, we are into the final minute of the game. It stands 2-2 as of now, and seems like it will be the third draw in a row. A bit of a hand there from the Renowned defender. The cross comes in, finds the head, but that just bounces right in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Rizni, not very convincing there, his appeal.
Well, not a lot of spark in these final few minutes from both the sides. They don't seem like they'll be getting another goal here. Here's the through ball and straight to the goalkeeper. Final 15 seconds. Elbasta Visi looking to find his man in front. Free kick for Blue Seahawks rather. And this will be the final opportunity for them to get 3 points, all 3 points out of this game. Just dragged down there. crucial set piece coming your way. Renown will defend their hearts out, while Seahawks will be hoping that this cross will find a man inside the box. But no, it doesn't, and that will be full time. It was 2-0 in favor of Seahawks at the end of halftime. But Renown SC, as we expected, came back strong in the second half. It only took 15 minutes for them to equalize, and since then we had a bit of rain. We had a lot of chances, but both the teams failed to convert them, and the game ends in a 2-2 draw.
Well, these pictures tell you a story, doesn't it? Coach Rahman will be relieved that they picked up a point on the road. However, these lads will be well relieved, courtesy of the efforts of Mujib. But on the other hand, the lads in blue, well, they will rue an opportunity gone begging, won't they? 3 points on the plate. Going into halftime, taking a look at the point sticker, they were sitting snug at third place, but now being denied 2 points more. Warren the Pereira will sorely regret it, and I think most of these players will spend the night just thinking about what could have been. But nonetheless, what a thriller of a game between these two sides. The officials, Sashanka Madhushanka, as well as ARs Buddhika Dias and Asela Sirvardhana, as well as fourth official Chatura Madhuranga, coming in clutch to give us a really fair game. And for Renown, clutching a moral victory from the jaws of defeat. Here's full-time confirmation for you folks. 2-2 is the score. Seahawks FC and Renown FC doing battle, and coming to a hard-fought tie as the sun sets over the Sugatadasa.
Well, unfortunate both the teams to be playing under tough conditions in those final 30 minutes. They would have loved to play in better conditions, and we'll quickly look at the highlights of the second half, where we've seen 2 goals coming in from Renown SC. The first of those coming from Mujib.
Yes, scrappy play in those last 45 minutes. Brilliant cross there. The goalie for the Seahawks coming undone. And again, bit of scrappy play, but fouls coming in from both sides. Patrick going for goal there, slightly overcooking it. Brilliant cross there. Unfortunately, Yugesh Vijay Sundaram unable to find his man, and easy peasy there for Mujib. Blunder from Hasmir, who was brilliant all game, but it may have cost them the win. Couple of brilliant attempts on goal from Yugesh Vijay Sundaram, and the final minutes of the game just filled with scrappy, desperate play to not concede anything. Warren the Pereira came in clutch in those last 45 minutes, really marshalling those crosses in for Yugesh. Unable to get a good first touch as the rain came down. Both Vijay Sundaram and Patrick struggling with those first touches. Mohammad Kursit being booked for a yellow, as well as Mohammad Safran, who came off the bench. And this late cross going for glory there, and Rizni just throwing everything on the line. Fouls be damned. And this is the points table of the Super League 2026 after a brilliant matchup between Renown FC and Seahawks FC. 6 games apiece. Renown FC still clinching on to that third place with just 1 point separating them. Same story as it stood before kickoff. Seahawks FC will rue their chance of getting out ahead of Renown Both sides now with 6 games apiece, 3 wins apiece. Renown still unbeaten with a third draw under their belt. Good goal difference, conceding for the first time in this matchup. And very, very interesting as we head into the latter part of week 6. And giving you an update, just an overview, Kevin, of the entire points table. Upcountry Lions sitting very snug on the Eagles' nest. 6 points. My apologies. 6 games on the trot, 6 wins on the trot. Goal difference of 24. Only 3 goals conceded. Very, very good defensive outfit. The Upcountry Lions with 18 points to their name. Colombo FC with a scrappy affair just a couple of days ago against Blue Star Sports Club. 2 draws, 4 wins, still unbeaten. No goals conceded. Very, very tight defense there. 14 points, just a couple of good games going their way. Could turn the tide in their favour. Renown FC once more unbeaten, snatching what was sure to be a defeat and turning it into what could be termed as a positive result, considering how that first half went, with 12 points. Seahawks FC, of course, we've beaten this horse to death. A story that could have ended much more positively for them. Still stuck in 4th place, but still in the contention for top 4. And on the other end of the table, well, it's not looking too good, is it? Red Star, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, even Stevens for them. 8 points, still within reach of getting a positive result as the weeks go by into September. Blue Star Sports Club being drubbed last week, 7 points apiece, and the Blue Eagles in 7th place matching that tally as well. Defenders FC, 6 games gone, just the 1 victory, 1 draw, 4 losses on the trot for them with 4 points. New Youngs FC and Ratnam Sports Club, well, it's not been good news for them, Kevin. Yet to notch wins on that belt. 2 draws for New Youngs. That will be their saving grace. But as for Ratnam Sports Club, well, it will be very, very dire straits.
Well, with that, we'll go down as we have a man of the match, or rather player of the match interview coming your way. We'll go down there and we'll come back.
Here with me, today's player of the match, Ezekiel Patrick from Seahawks Football Club. Ezekiel, very tough game, but beginning of the game you scored 2 goals in the short period, but second half dominated well, but unfortunately match ended with 2-2. What do you feel about today's game and your performance?
I feel sad because we were 2 goals ahead in the first half, and second half, our opponent came back to score 2-2, with slight mistakes from our defense. We tried our best, and we keep working hard and we'll keep pushing. We have games coming, and we'll make sure we make the corrections in the next game.
Thank you very much, and congratulations for the future games.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, that was Ezekiel Patrick, your MVP of this game between Renown FC and Seahawks FC. And these were the results from week number 6. Defenders FC getting their first win, beating Ratnam SC 4-1, while Upcountry Lions a comprehensive win over New Youngs FC, and Blue Star SC losing to Colombo FC 2-0, while Red Star FC won against Blue Eagles 1-0. And our final game of the week saw Seahawks FC and Renown FC drawing to all. Upcountry Lions going 6 weeks, 6 wins in a row, but they have 2 tough games coming their way in the next 3 weeks. Colombo FC and Renown FC, and that will certainly decide about how the league table will end at the end of week 9. Let's quickly have a look at the fixtures coming up in week number 7 and look at those fixtures. Upcountry has an easy tie against Blue Eagles, I believe, given the form that they are now in.
Yeah, Blue Star Sports Club will be looking to bounce back from their drubbing against Colombo FC against Renown. However, Renown unbeaten on the trot, will be looking to bounce back from that singular dip in form on the 29th of August. Red Star FC going up against Defenders FC. Mid-table against Table Minnows on the 30th of August, and the Seahawks will be going up against Colombo FC. Pretty similar play style. It's going to be an interesting fixture for sure on the ultimate date of August. And to start off the new month, match number 35 against Tailcoats New Youngs FC against Ratnam Sports Club.
Well, important games are coming up for both Colombo FC and Renown FC. They have to win their games to stay in tact with that top position against Upcountry, because Upcountry will be facing Renown and Colombo FC in the final 2 weeks. So these two teams have to make sure they win the games in the upcoming weeks, along with Seahawks FC as well. So with that, we come to a close of our live feed here from week number 6 of the Super League 2026. And we will see you again next week with some exciting fixtures, with Seahawks FC taking on Colombo FC being the pick of the lot. This is me, Kevin Naranjan, and Arvin signing off here from Sugadasa. We'll see you next week.